Episode 6, right? Yeah, episode 6. Wow. The feels were strong with this one. Yeah. Don't really know where to begin. Need to take a drink of the elixir of life. So yeah, I guess. All right. Let's be honest. When you're part of any community on the internet, it's almost impossible to avoid spoilers or any kind of inkling of what the show is about or possible, stuff like that. Not like spoilers and things about the show that honestly that might spoil it for you, and that is characters that you like tend to die in this show. I wasn't expecting it so soon because Shell dies, gets eaten by that one girl in the last episode who turned out to be a raving psychotic who's kind of a cyborg that has a gun lodged in her throat. And a gun for, I don't know, it was weird, but I was kind of disappointed in that. I was hoping that I forget her name, sorry, but I was hoping that she was sort of going to be kind of, I don't know, demonstrate that not everyone who's part of the Empire is a psychotic douchebag. Just saying, but yeah, her Imperial arms turns into a giant raging thing that devours people, and it kills Shell and eats her, which is I didn't see coming. I'll admit that I didn't see it coming. I mean, my God, it's. I hope this doesn't, I guess it is going to become a trend from what I heard, but I really hope it doesn't suffer from Game of Thrones syndrome, because Game of Thrones, from what obviously the word is out that it's fucking awesome, but I haven't watched it, mainly because I was going to start watching it, and then the Red Wedding happened, and from what I heard about that is that pretty much all the main characters up until that point die, which is like, okay, so there's really no point in getting attached to these characters. I mean, let me rephrase that. Is that you get attached to these characters just to have them be killed, all of them be killed off, or just have them be killed off, which can be very effective, but the thing with Game of Thrones is that it's done so... I could be talking out my ass here because, again, I haven't seen the show, but from what I understand in Game of Thrones, it happens so frequently where you're like, okay, what the fuck was the point of me getting attached to this character if you were just going to kill him off? And it's it just happens frequently in Game of Thrones, and I don't want it to happen too frequently here, because, I liked Shell. Personally, I thought that maybe we should have gotten to know her character a bit more, but, it wasn't like we didn't know her at all, and they killed her off, and they expected us to feel sad. No, the feels were very strong, and I didn't, tear up or anything, but it was like, no, don't die. No, it was, oh God. And, and again, it sets up, Mine is gonna basically kill that one girl that had that Imperial arms that ate her, which setting up future plot points and future events. I like that. As Death apparently is back, and she's riding a fucking dragon. I think it's a dragon or some weird demon thing, which is fucking awesome. I really kind of like... I know she's only been featured in maybe about a minute and a half of screen time so far, but I'm very excited to see as Death. God damn it, camera, stop going into sleep mode. But I'm very excited to see as Death because they built her up quite well given the amount of screen time she's had. Yeah. That's all I really have to say. I mean, I hope it doesn't I hope for the character deaths, except for Tatsumi, because let's be honest, he's not going to die, but is it the major character deaths? I hope that they space them out well enough. Like, we won't get another one to, let's say, episode, I don't know, 15 or 16. And then we won't get another, or space it out to, episode 12, because that's 6 episodes, we don't have a death, and then maybe do, let's say, after episode 12, you go to episode 20, and, then perhaps, when you're doing going near the finale and the climax, that's when you start doing multiple character deaths, because it makes sense there, it's the climax. But yeah, I hope it doesn't suffer from Game of Thrones syndrome, because at that point it's like, what the fuck was the point of getting invested if you were just going to kill them all off? It's kind of a double-edged sword, really, with this sort of thing, where it's okay to do it once or twice, because there you're like, oh my god, I love that character so much, now he or she is dead. But when you do it like Game of Thrones, which again, I heard this show does it like Game of Thrones in a sense. It doesn't, from what I can even without watching Game of Thrones, I pretty much know that Game of Thrones probably has better writing. Not that the writing in this show is bad, at least not yet. But I just hope it doesn't suffer from that Game of Thrones syndrome, because it'll feel like a waste of time. That I get attached to these characters and then they're just killed off. I don't like, I think that's the worst way, the worst kind of bad, if that makes sense, is that things are a waste of time. Where, well, that was pointless. I hope that getting attached to these characters won't be pointless because they killed them off, but yet, it does add that kind of, well, shit, these guys don't have plot armor, except for Tatsumi, let's be honest, and probably Akame, I can assume. I mean, the episode was great. This is the best episode so far. The action was very well done. I really liked the episode. My only problem is I wish Shell didn't have such a gruesome death, because she was, God, I love, for the amount of screen time she had, I really did like the character. Also, I keep talking about the voice. I said I would stop talking about the voice acting because, it's good. It is good, but here I am talking about it. This had fantastic performances. Just, especially the person who voiced the girl with the psycho cyborg gun person. Sorry, I cannot remember her name. I'm gonna have to, start remembering this shit. But from but I'm assuming that she becomes a more prevalent character. When she does, I'll know her name indefinitely. But whoever voiced her did a great job of being completely and utterly batshit crazy. She deserves a gold star. Everyone in this episode deserves a gold star. Everyone. Just fantastic performances all around. Absolutely loved it. This episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. I have my fears that it'll suffer from Game of Thrones syndrome. But, as an episode in and of itself and what it was setting up to, again, setting up future plot points and future developments and all that stuff, adding to character motivation, my god, and it's done in a fairly logical and simple way. Imagine that. Imagine that, I'm looking at you, Madoka Magica. Yeah, I had to put in one shot at Madoka Magica because that's the kind of asshole I am. So that's pretty much it. It was a great episode. Really no complaints. I just hope that, other than my concerns from the future, and I hope they space these deaths out and they don't kill off everyone except for Akame and Tatsumi. I hope they at least leave some of the characters that we like alive, but whatever, we'll see. So, till then.